5 million followers, viral fame, and a squeaky clean brand turned into one of the most polarizing internet scandals of the year. This is Rahul Rai. For a long time, viewers dismissed his overly enthusiastic relationship skits as harmless, mildly awkward comedy. That public perception completely shifted when online commentators began flagging a recurring series where he role-plays a fictional 5-year-old child named Zayn. Across TikTok and Reddit, the backlash was instant. Critics labeled the skits unhinged and deeply inappropriate, calling out the bizarre combination of nursery settings and heavily suggestive adult punchlines. While some defenders claim it is just dark parody, thousands of viewers are asking why a creator with this massive platform would take such an extreme creative gamble. But the real story is not just the controversy itself. It is the calculated monetization pipeline operating quietly in the background. So let us look at the footage, examine the community reaction, and break down what is actually happening. To really get why Rahul Rai became one of the most polarizing figures online, you have to look at the hustle that started it all. Long before TikTok, Rahul was chasing mainstream Hollywood fame. He was a competitive Bollywood dancer in high school and later earned an economics degree from Pace University. In 2011, he landed his first real shot as the lead in a low-budget rom-com called When Harry Tries to Marry. It flopped hard, scraping together a brutal 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, with critics panning it as clumsy, amateurish, and painfully staged. For nearly a decade after, he bounced between background roles, short films, and bit parts on television without ever catching a genuine break. When traditional Hollywood shut him out, Rahul took his ambitions straight to social media. During the 2020 lockdowns, he turned content creation into an absolute machine, grinding out up to 24 videos a day across multiple pages. One of his secondary accounts, The Layman Investigator, built a solid following of hundreds of thousands by dishing out practical personal finance tips. Back then, his image was squeaky clean. A disciplined, hard-working creator juggling dance, money talk, and harmless skits. But on short-form video apps, nothing pays off quite like raw attention, and his content was about to take a wild left turn. Once Rahul started tracking the analytics, the reality hit fast. Clean, educational finance videos were barely pulling numbers compared to his relationship content. So, he pivoted hard into full-blown thirst trap comedy. The premise was simple. Rahul acted out couple scenarios where he played both himself and his imaginary partner. On paper, they were framed as cute, relatable dating banter, but on screen, it was pure, unfiltered vanity. He would whisper seductive lines to himself, pose in sharp suits, or flex during workout scenes disguised as everyday morning routines. Over on Reddit, people immediately called out the heavy self-obsession baked into every single upload. This was not just cheesy parody. It was a creator using acting as a loophole to hype up his own physical appearance while hiding behind the excuse of just doing skits. Online forums went back and forth debating whether it was innocent confidence or terminal vanity, but the formula worked. Casual viewers kept engaging, and his follower count skyrocketed past 5 million. But with an audience that massive, pushing the envelope comes with serious risk, and his next creative shift would prove impossible to walk back. The real controversy kicked off when Rahul introduced a fictional recurring character named Zayn, who was supposed to be his 5-year-old son. Instead of harmless family humor, Rahul green-screened himself into nursery classrooms as a toddler and started dropping explicit adult jokes. In one viral video with tens of thousands of likes, the Zayn character sits at school describing his parents' private bedroom life by making crude animal noises. In another skit, the child character makes graphic references while eating, repeating explicit bedroom phrases he supposedly overheard his father say. Across TikTok and X, people were genuinely disturbed. Comment sections instantly turned hostile, with thousands questioning why a grown man was role-playing a small child to deliver sexually charged punchlines. While a few die-hard fans tried writing it off as edgy comedy, the wider commentary community called it completely unhinged, arguing that turning a toddler into an adult shock value bit was a massive red flag. Yet, despite massive backlash and having to shut off his comments, Rahul did not dial it back. He doubled down with dozens more skits pushing the exact same premise. Multiple media commentators have since pointed out deliberate rage-baiting tactics at play here. arguing that setting these bizarre, suggestive jokes in virtual preschools was a calculated move to trigger hate-watching, ignite outrage, and exploit TikTok's algorithm to drive massive traffic straight into his monetization funnel. Where exactly is the line between dark internet satire and using a toddler persona as an inappropriate shock value crutch? Drop your take below, because the internet seems genuinely divided on whether this can ever be defended as mere comedy. Watching the Zayn series back-to-back exposes a clear single-minded formula. Whether the scene is a parent-teacher meeting or dinner at home, the child character exists solely to validate Rahul as an irresistible dominant alpha. None of the bits touch on real parenting or innocent childhood humor. They constantly revolve around crude innuendos, math class 69 jokes, or the fictional son bragging about his dad's performance behind closed doors. Culture critics and video essayists started calling out the bizarre psychology behind the content. It was no longer just awkward cringe. It was an adult creator writing, shooting, and editing skits where an imaginary 5-year-old hypes up his own ego. If you appreciate deep dive breakdowns that cut straight through the influencer smoke and mirrors to expose the actual receipts, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss another analysis. On Reddit, heated threads questioned how these videos bypassed platform safety filters for months on end. To make matters worse, his core fanbase continued to leave glowing praise, creating an echo chamber that only encouraged him to push the boundary even further. Beyond the initial shock value, people digging into the receipts quickly realized these skits were not just random creative experiments. They were functioning as the top of an aggressive sales funnel. Rahul launched a subscription service called the Boyfriend Audio Club, charging users $5 a month for intimate voice notes, daily video check-ins, and personalized romantic audio tracks. He marketed the entire club around intense parasocial romance, looking dead into the camera and promising to whisper romantic praise in your ear as you drift off to sleep. To cash in further, he rolled out the Boyfriend collection, selling hoodies, blankets, and pillowcases printed with illustrations of his face. The comments under these promos revealed that a massive chunk of his buyers were married women looking for emotional fulfillment. While the romantic audio market is nothing new, commentators connected the dots. The shocking viral skits were simply driving free platform attention into a lucrative, paywalled fantasy business. The ethics blew wide open when people started analyzing the community buying into this service. In public comment sections, multiple subscribers openly admitted to hiding their monthly fees from their real-life husbands, treating the audio club as a private emotional escape. Verified public comments and community archives reveal a significant number of active subscribers were married women openly admitting to concealing these transactions, sparking widespread online backlash over what many critics termed digital emotional infidelity. Rahul even leaned into it in his marketing, playfully telling viewers that whatever happened between them on TikTok stayed on TikTok. For critics, this crossed the line from selling harmless influencer merch to openly exploiting lonely demographics for recurring revenue. The contrast between his squeaky clean financial education persona and this predatory parasocial pipeline became impossible to ignore. The conversation shifted from laughing at awkward theater kid antics to questioning the ethics of manufacturing artificial romance for monthly cash. Does leaning into married subscribers hiding paid romantic audios from their spouses cross into unethical territory, or is this just standard supply and demand marketing in the influencer era? I am curious to see how you view the boundary between selling harmless fantasy and actively exploiting emotional loneliness. What started as weird content was now undeniably a calculated machine trading basic ethics for steady cash flow. Looking at the full trajectory of Rahul Rai's online presence shows exactly what happens when algorithmic incentives take complete control of a creator. He started with genuine ambitions in dance and acting, pivoted into clean financial advice, and ended up discovering that crossing ethical boundaries was the fastest way to pull views and build leverage. The Zayn skits and the Boyfriend Audio Club were not accidental stumbles. They were the predictable result of an internet landscape that rewards boundary pushing above all else. While Rahul still claims his work is nothing more than fictional parody, the damage to his public image is permanent. Digital culture analysts now widely hold the opinion that despite accumulating over 5 million followers, permanently branding himself around hypersexualized cringe and boundary-crossing skits has essentially functioned as a career death sentence for any legitimate return to mainstream Hollywood, making him entirely toxic for brand-safe studio productions. He pulled off the rare feat of building an audience of millions, but traded away his mainstream credibility for one of the most polarizing, scrutinized reputations on the internet. The story of Rahul Rai is not just another isolated influencer scandal. It is a harsh reality check on what happens when internet fame prioritizes shock value over basic boundaries. If you found this breakdown insightful, go ahead and drop a like right now and subscribe to the channel for more unfiltered internet culture deep dives. Because while 5 million followers can buy you algorithmic reach, it cannot buy back public trust once the receipts are out in the open. As platforms continue optimizing purely for watch time, it leaves us with one lingering question. When creators realize controversy pays more than clean talent, where will the next line be crossed? Share your thoughts below, and I will see you in the next one.